Well, hey everybody. We've since I put that video up about singing in general, answering, I believe it was Andrew gave us that great question about singing. But since I put that up, we've had some pretty interesting comments and back and forth on our little group about singing, and sort of inspired me to revisit this subject this evening. It made me think. I was thinking more and more about it, and I thought, where does one's mind go when you're singing a song? Are you like, to someone who's first trying to learn how to do it? You're so busy focusing on what your hands are doing. Remembering to tap your foot, keep the rhythm, and not forget your words. But how is it that someone who's, when you've sang a song 1,000 times, that it just, like how we talked about in other videos, it seems effortless, just comes out of them? My only answer is that comes with long hours of solitary practice, I think, is a big part of it. Another part of it for me, after years and years of just solitary singing, was when I was went into the army, and we were in Iraq and doing all that crazy stuff, and finally things settled down to a point where I could get mail and stuff, and I went on the internet, and I ordered a Deering Good Time banjo on the internet. Did not even think that thing would make it all the way out there to where we were, but it did. It showed up in a cardboard box, and I pulled this banjo out that looked like some foreign alien artifact or something. It had been maybe almost a year since I had played one. I think I was 19 years old. I hadn't played in about a year, so that was a pretty heavy hit. Took that banjo out, and I didn't know I had to learn to replay it. And it was tough. And that was also, as I was having to learn to replay it, I had no privacy all of a sudden. I had no solitude that I was accustomed to. I remember I'd never sang a song in front of anybody except my mother, my father, my sisters, and a couple of close friends. That was about it. So suddenly I had this banjo. I had to relearn how to play it and remember all these old songs that I'd forgotten from a lifetime, what seemed like a lifetime before. And all these guys around me that were bored and starved for entertainment, and they wanted to watch, and they weren't going to leave. We all cohabited. So for the first time, I had an audience sitting around me. And this audience was white, black, rural, urban, Filipinos, Russians, Africans, Haitians, Belgians, Canadians. We had everybody in our unit. And nobody had ever seen anything like it or heard anything like it. They all wanted to hear it. They all liked it. And they didn't care how nervous I was or how bad I thought I sounded. They just wanted to hear it. So when I had that banjo, that became a thing I had to play and sing every night. At the time, I had this recurring duty where I would be up all night, usually by myself, in a room full of radios and maps, where I would be watching what was going on the maps and moving, just like in the movies, moving little pins around on the map and answering the radio and taking notes. But I had my banjo in there with me late at night, and everybody knew they would come around late at night, and I would play that damn thing for them. And they wanted me to sing. So anyhow, I don't want to get into that too much, but I was forced, kicking and screaming, out of the pan into the fire. I had to sing and play. Dance, monkey, dance, as they say. I had to dance. I didn't have to dance, but I had to sing and play for them. So that was cool. And what was the song that everybody wanted to hear the most? Was German War. I was already playing it back. I was playing that song before I knew anything about what that song was about. But out there, it suddenly meant a whole lot. And I could see in the eyes of the people around me that it meant a lot. For one thing, that in that song, German War, if you guys haven't heard it, it's easy to find. You can look up my recording of it, and maybe some other people have done it. But that's a song from George Gibson. And he learned it from World War I veterans in his neighborhood growing up. But in that song, they talk about leaving old Kentucky, sailing to a foreign land. Well, everyone in my unit had come from Kentucky because that's where we were all trained. So we all had left Kentucky and sailed to Germany. And so the song was called German War. It talked about leaving Kentucky. There was some other stuff in the song. At one point in the song, it talks about riding down the streets of hell. And that really resonated with a lot of the guys in my unit because we were a cavalry unit. We rode around in the armored vehicles and stuff, and through hellish scenes. So, and suddenly when they wanted to hear that song, and I would sing that song for them, and that was the first time, maybe really, that I've have transported myself with a song. Every night when I would sing that song for my fellow soldiers around me, that song transported them, and it transported me every time I sang it. I don't know where everybody went. I didn't go to World War I or anything like that. I just left whatever place I was in, and I can't, words can't describe it very well. But that's an amazing song anyhow, and that experience was amazing. And perhaps when a human being goes through an experience like that, maybe you come out the other end of that singing a little bit better. You know what I mean? Maybe your vocals didn't improve, you didn't get, any better technically at singing, but something about you is changed. You've removed some impediment that was over you before, that was between you and other people. And so it's easier maybe to break through and just sing out, let what's inside you out and express it, when you've been through something like that. Why is those old recordings of all those chained up men in those prison farms from the 20s and 30s, why are all those recordings so moving and beautiful? Why is why is blues so beautiful and moving and haunting and enchanting anyhow? Probably has something to do with slavery and oppression and stuff like that. Hardship. This is, you guys know this, but just to talk and think more about it, and maybe get some of y'all thinking a little bit more. I have some more ideas that I've jotted down on my little notepad here that I will keep talking about this subject, and I hope that you guys will keep talking about it too. Yeah. Until we meet again. Thanks for watching.